Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. Today we are going to be talking about pores, how to minimize them and how to conceal and or hide them. So I have a lot of products in front of me to kind of go over. We're going to go in steps from treatment to primers to foundations to powders, all like kind of in the sequence you would go when getting ready. And these are pretty much products that I've found that have worked for me. I used to have such big pores around here in my forehead, and these have really helped minimize them, and then whatever is left over that you can still see, these other items help hide them. So if you want to see how to hide your pores and products that are really great at minimizing them, then please keep watching. Okay, so pores. What are pores? Basically, they're little tiny holes in your face that help discharge sweat or sebum, as well as help you soak in items. So when you put in your moisturizer and all that, that's how it basically soaks into your skin. They're tiny holes that absorb everything in your face. But they also secrete oil and sebum. So it's kind of a give and take situation. So you don't want to strip all the oil from your skin, because then it'll make it dry and then it'll overproduce oil, which can actually enlarge your pores as well. And then you don't want to put too much on top, as in heavy moisturizers and all that other stuff, because that can clog your pores. So you got to kind of find a very even balance to your pores. It's a struggle we all women face. So one of the biggest clogger of pores is sebum, which that turns into pimples. So a lot of oily skin individuals tend to have larger pores if they're more oily, because they're producing more oil and more sebum, hence larger pores. So also drier skinned people can also have larger pores because their skin is dry. And you would think that, okay, it's dry, it's tight, you're not going to see the pores, but that is not true. I have dry skin. I am getting oily in my T-zone recently, but I'm more on the drier side, and I do have pores. There are actually different kinds of pores you can have depending on your skin type. So the causes of larger pores are either A, age, hormones, B, or C, moisturization or hydration. So the best way to kind of get rid of your pores or minimize your pores is to find out what exact skin type you have and what is causing your large pores. A lot of times as us women get older, our skin gets drier, so our pores start to show more. We don't have a lot of elasticity in our skin, so then we'd want to treat it with more hydrating, tightening, elasticity treatments that's going to really plump the skin. Now, some girls that are younger tend to have oilier skin due to hormones, which can cause larger pores. So you want to treat that accordingly too, just by cleaning out your pores, using good cleansers, using good, pore cleaning products. And then there is the hydrating side. If you're dry, you're not drinking enough water, or your skin's dry, or your climate's dry, you want to treat it according to that as well. You want to make sure that you're drinking a lot of water. I always have a cup of water with me. I try to drink at least 5 of these a day, maybe more. I don't always count, but at least 5. But hydrating from the inside out is always important. So that's probably my number one tip, is make sure you're hydrating from the inside out. So drink tons and tons of water. It won't hurt you. It has so many health benefits, and it really helps with your skin. When I notice I'm not drinking a lot of water, my skin just looks dull and yucky and not vibrant. My pores tend to show more. So just make sure you're getting a lot of water. Okay, so starting off, cleansing is really, really important when you have large pores. Large pores usually occur because you have gunk in them. So the best thing to do is make sure you have a really good cleanser. If you have like extremely clogged pores, like blackheads, whiteheads, huge pores, then I would suggest using a like charcoal cleanser or some type of pore extracting cleanser. I only use Purity. This is my favorite cleanser. It's gentle on the skin, but I feel like it still does the job. and I have been using it with my Clarisonic. My brush fell off, rolled in the toilet. I know, how does that happen, right? But it does to me. So I dropped it on the sink, it popped off and like fell into the toilet, so it's not on here. I obviously need to get a new one, but I always cleanse with these two. Clarisonic is really good for cleansing your pores. They have different brush heads. They have sensitive, normal, and then they even have a deep pore cleansing one. And I mainly like to focus it here where all my pores are, like basically my T-zone, and then I just gently go around my face. But they do have cheaper alternative versions to this, but from what I found, the actual Clarisonic is the best. This is the Mia 2. It just has 2 settings, and this works great. I even think the Mia 1 would be fine. They just didn't have it when I went to get this. But definitely having a good cleanser and some type of, you know, bristle brush to scrub in and get them pores. And this is also really good for exfoliating, which is really important for, you know, minimizing your pores, is exfoliating your skin. So going along with that trend with exfoliating, I have a couple products here that I swear by for exfoliating the skin. I only use the Clarisonic as a physical exfoliator. I usually don't like the kind that have like the beads or the scrub and you scrub in. It causes micro abrasions in the skin, which can actually let more bacteria in and cause a lot of other issues. So I tend to prefer a chemical exfoliant, and I have 2 of them here, which are my favorites. This one's a bit more pricey, but it works amazing. But I do have a cheaper alternative as well. And this is the Good Genes Lactic Acid Treatment. I've talked about this so many times on my channel. It's from Sunday Riley. I get mine from Sephora. And this is a chemical exfoliant as well. It's lactic acid. So it is known to plump the skin. It actually gets rid of the layer of dead skin. It just peels off and kind of absorbs into the product. It like melts your dead skin away. And when I use this, my skin looks so much more plump and hydrated and bright. So that will ensure that your pores become more plump as well and not as large, and you're really hydrating the skin. And this is also known to help with elasticity as well. So I highly recommend this. It is pricey, but I feel like skin is an investment, so you should invest in your skin. So look at the products as, you know, you're investing in your skin and not getting wrinkles when you're old. The other cheaper alternative, which I talked about, I think in my favorites video, but this is the Neogen Bio Peel, and it looks like this. This is also I can't talk. This is also from Sephora, and basically they're just peeling pads, and they're very citrusy, which is also really good for the skin and basically cleaning out the skin and tightening up the pores. I know some people actually rub lemon on their skin to help detox their pores and tighten the skin. So I really like this. This is also a chemical exfoliator, and it's very like liquidy inside. Like you get a lot of product. But these are what the pads look like. You have a really abrasive side on this side and then a smoother side on the other. This you do have to rinse off your face, but I like to use this in the morning. You only have to use it like once or twice a week, but I use it in the mornings because I feel like my foundation and everything goes on so much better when I use this. So highly recommend this. And again, I will have all the products that I'm talking about linked down below if you want to go check them out. Other items are treatments and or serums. I have talked about this as well. I'll also have that link down below. Oh, I'm almost out. But it is my Curology. I am not sponsored by them whatsoever. I know a lot of YouTubers and beauty bloggers are. I am not. But this is an online dermatologist that create your own skincare line for you, for whatever your needs are. So it's an actual real doctor you're talking to. They make you your own customized prescription and they send it to you, and it's like 20 bucks every month, which is cheaper than going to an actual dermatologist and paying for those expensive creams. So mine has some acne treatment in it, but it also has some skin anti-aging, pore smoothing items in it too. So I use this every single night. This keeps my skin clear, no acne, cleans out my pores, keeps them tight, and helps avoid any type of bacteria that could be growing in my pores. So highly recommend Curology. The other one is another product that I've talked about so many times, and this is marketed towards pore minimizing and also hydrating and helping any type of irritated skin. So if you have any rosacea or a lot of acne, this is supposed to really calm your skin with the different oils. And it is the Sunday Riley Luna Sleeping Oil. This stuff I contribute basically to saving my pores. I love this stuff. I use it every single night. Sometimes I do give it a break because it can dry out your skin if your skin is sensitive. And sometimes when I use it every single night for a long period of time, I will notice I'm getting a little dry. And then I just stop using it for like a day or two and start again, and it's fine. But this has so many good healthcare benefits in it. It's, like I said, it's marketed for shrinking the pores, minimizing them, and I swear this stuff is bomb. It works. I noticed a huge difference in my pores when I started using this. It took about, you know, a couple of weeks before I really saw the results. It's not an overnight thing. It does take some time. But I love this. It's a retinoid encased in an oil, so it helps your skin rejuvenate and grow more skin. I don't know the technical term for it, but I know it helps the process of cell turnover. So this is really good, especially if you have aging skin. I think you'd really love this. Oils are really good for the skin. I know a lot of people that are oily try to stay away from oils, but you don't need to. It actually is just as fine to use if you have oily or dry skin. I highly recommend this. I hardly use pore filling primer since starting to use this, and again, I can't speak higher of it. It's so good. My skin is so, like, it's just gotten so much better since using the Sunday Riley products. So this and the Good Genes paired together is like a match made in skincare heaven. So highly recommend it. And another really good treatment that I use if I am noticing I have some clogged pores or larger pores, which again I get normally right around here, around my nose and cheek area and forehead, I will use the Glam Glow Super Mud Treatment Mask. This is another item that I absolutely swear by. This is really good. It's basically, it sucks all the gunk out of your pores, and when you put it on, you'll see tiny dots, and that's all the oil and gunk being sucked out. This also tightens your pores. You can actually feel it when you rinse it off. Your face feels tight. Like, it feels like someone just gave you like a Joan Rivers facelift. So I really love this. I will also use this as a spot treatment on acne breakouts. I will put a dab on and go to bed, and usually by the morning it is greatly reduced, if not gone. So I love this. So that was treatment. Okay, next we're going to go into pore filling primers. And these are my favorite. These are the ones that I know are tried and true that work great for me. There are so many out in, you know, the beauty industry right now. They have, you know, low end, high end, like there's so many. So I'm just going to show you the ones that I have that I know work. So I got this at Ulta. I got this in a sample. And I was like, holy crap, this stuff is amazing. I actually wear this just if I'm not wearing any makeup at all, but I just want my skin to look more even. And this is the Murad Invisible Perfecting Shield, and has broad, ew, I got makeup on it. It has broad spectrum SPF 30 in it. So it's also got a sunscreen, which is really important for protecting the skin. But it looks like this. This is another amazing pore filler. It's very silicone feeling. So if you don't like that silicone primer feeling, you may not like this. The important thing to note with this is you only need a tiny bit. If you use too much, it will pill up underneath your foundation. I did learn that the hard way. So you really only need the tiniest bit. So I really like that one. Another one, like I said, I am dry with larger pores, so I like to hydrate my skin first. So I'll use the Too Faced Hangover RX Primer basically all over the skin, and then I'll go in with the pore filler in my T-zone where I have the larger pores. So I like to make sure my skin is very plump and hydrated before foundation, just so that it'll kind of close the pores up. Another one I really like, this is a sample size. I'd like to get the larger one, but it is the Estee Edit like stick pore filler, and it looks like this. I know there's a lot of talk around this when it first came out, and a lot of people liked it, but this stuff, like, you basically just rub it on and then I pat it. That's the other thing. When you're putting on your primers, you don't want to rub. Think about your pores as a hole that you're trying to fill up. So you don't just wipe across them, because you're still going to have, you know, dirt not all the way in there. So you want to basically pack it in. So I put it on my fingers and I press like this. So you just want to press it in all over where you have pores. You don't want to swipe. Just always press. Remember, if you have large pores, press, press, press. So another one that I really enjoy is the NYX Angel Veil Face Smoothing Perfecting Primer. I love this stuff. It's very good. It's very light on the skin, and I think it's beautiful. It is rather pricey for the drugstore. I think this is like $15, which is kind of insane for drugstore, but it works. And last but not least, if you've watched my channel long enough, you know this is my Ride or Die Pore Filler, and it is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Primer in Smoothing. I adore this stuff. I think it works the best for me. It's thicker, but again, you only need the tiniest bit, and I just press it in. So that's really important. Like I said, with primers, you really want to press it in the skin. If you have extremely, extremely large pores and the primers just they kind of fill them in, but not really well. Another trick you can do is using an ice cube. Like, just get an ice cube and rub it on the area for a few seconds, because anything cold kind of restricts and shrinks things. Just like when you're doing your hair, they always say to put conditioner in it and then rinse with cold water, because it actually closes the cuticles in your hair. So it's kind of the same thing with your face. Cold closes the pores, and anything hot opens the pores. So that's like when you get a facial and they put the steam all over your skin, they're doing that to open your pores. So if your pores are really enlarged, rinse your face off with cool water or use an ice cube, and that's a really good trick too. Next are foundations and how I apply my foundation. I tend to always use a beauty blender. I prefer a beauty blender. If you have large pores, again, you don't want to take a brush and like buff or swipe down. You really want to press. So I like this because it's always pressing. You're always dotting it all over your face. I love beauty blenders for that. It's really good if you have dry skin too, but always press your foundation in. Don't swipe it in, don't buff it in, because then all you're going to do is move that pore filler that you put in. You're going to move it all around and you're going to show your pores. You also want to pick a foundation that you know is not going to sink into your pores. My favorite two foundations for that high end and low end are the Smashbox Studio Skin, what is this? Is it 15-hour wear? Yeah, 15-hour wear foundation. This is my Ride or Die. It's what I'm wearing today. And if you want to find something from the drugstore that I think is really good, they also have the Revlon, I want to say what is it called? It's a pore filling one. I haven't used that, but I know a lot of people really enjoy that. But I really like the L'Oreal Lumi foundation, because again, I am more on the drier side. This does not sink into my fine lines or my pores. Both of these are really good for that. I don't have any trouble with them sinking into anything, even if I don't use a pore filler. So I really like these two. And next, another good way to set your foundation and also hide your pores and blur them out is a good setting powder. Now, I have a couple here for different price ranges. I have the Laura Mercier setting powder, just translucent setting powder. I know you guys have heard about this if you watch anybody's YouTube channel. Then you have the RCMA, which is a little bit better priced. I think this is only $8 and you get a big thing of it. Not my personal favorite one. I prefer the Laura Mercier. And then you have the even cheaper version. I think this is $7 as well. But you can find this at your local Walmart or Walgreens. I got mine at Walgreens, and it's just the air spun powder. This does have a very heavy scent, so if you don't like that, then you probably won't like this, but these are my favorite setting powders. And with that, again, everything is patting in. You want to press them in. You either want to get a puff and basically rub in there, pat out, and then you want to pat and roll everywhere you have your pores. I don't really have, you know, a huge problem with pores anymore, like I had stated. So I tend to just use a setting brush and press it in with the setting brush. So a setting powder, I feel like really blurs the skin, gives it a flawless finish, and really helps hide the pores. So anyway, that is it for my tips and tricks for hiding your pores and minimizing them. I hope you guys enjoyed this and you learned something new today. If you have any questions or any type of suggestions about filling your pores or getting, you know, minimizing your pores, leave them down below and let's start a little beauty discussion and share thoughts and ideas and tricks and tips and all that. So anyway, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I will link all the products I mentioned down below. And I love you guys, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.